All right, welcome back to Bushes on the Trail, and this time we are in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and we are taking on Abrams Falls. It's going to be a pretty good hike, so I hope you stick around. Okay, here we are, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. We are doing Abrams Falls today. It's about a 2.5 miles or so out to the falls and back, so pushing 5 miles or a little more today. Really cold. It's just above freezing, and this is April 1st, so you know, the weather can change in a heartbeat. It was 60-some degrees yesterday, and today it's, well, pushing freezing. There could be some snow flurries coming later, so we'll see what happens. But right now, it is beautiful out here. Okay, almost a half of a mile in, a little rocky, heading uphill, and we are next to, I think it's called Abrams Creek, so still a couple more miles to go until we get to the falls. Now, if you've never been to these falls before, sort of large, wide, there should be a lot of water flowing over the falls once we get there. We've had some rain here, pretty heavy, yesterday. So, should be an interesting waterfall today. And there's typically a decent amount of space in this area once we get to the waterfall. So, we'll see what happens. Okay, we're about 0.7 miles in, and you will come to one of the first water crossings with the log bridge. You see these throughout the Smokies for water crossings, at least tough water crossings like this. But it's just a narrow little log that you cross over. Not too bad. Sort of slick, a little wet, but pretty easy. And onward and upward. As you can see, the trail's a little muddy, but to be expected with all of the rain it had. No ice on it, so it hasn't dropped too far below freezing back here yet, so that's pretty good. This trail is fairly wide. It's highly trafficked. Won't be that many people out today. It's a little on the cooler side, still early in the morning, and it is in the middle of the week, so we won't have as many people as you normally see on the weekend. Really nice summer day out here. But the trail is wide, much wider than a typical backcountry trail. A lot of rocks, a lot of roots that you have to keep an eye out for. But overall, it's fairly flat and easy the first roughly mile or so. And we'll keep you posted. Beautiful blue skies. And the weather 2 days ago said it was going to be cloudy, so we planned on doing waterfalls today instead of mountaintops. And we're hoping to do mountaintops tomorrow, so hopefully we have this type of sky tomorrow. We'll see. And the path is nice and clear, and then uphill rocks. Now this is just a little over a mile in. Starts to go uphill, get a little rocky. Other than that, it's a fairly easy trail to this point. A few minor uphills, but nothing major. Okay, this is roughly the halfway point to the falls. Not quite, but getting there. You come up over this rock formation. You can probably hear the wind blowing, but nice little mountain view. And then the trail starts to go downhill. So about almost a 2/10 of a mile climb over some rocky terrain. Not super easy, but not horrible either. And now you're coming down some rocky terrain as well, and I think heads down most of the way from here. There might be another up or two, we'll see. We are about 1.6 miles into the hike next to Abrams Creek again. The trail veers away from it a little bit, but it is fairly flat through here. The rocks have smoothed out. A few here and there to watch your feet, but nothing major. And the tree roots are a little better. Still a little wet here. Again, a lot of rain last night, so under the conditions of the rain we had yesterday here in the Smoky Mountains, trail's in really good shape. Okay, 2.41 miles in. See the falls through the trees. Climbing on falls is hazardous. Stay on constructed trails and watch your children closely. So we'll go down a little bit and then we'll bend back. I believe we have another log bridge to cross. And then we will be at the falls. So probably another 1/10 of a mile or so. Okay, 2.48 miles, almost 2.5 miles into the hike, and we're coming to another log crossing. I think there might even be one more after this. And we were up there, you can see up there people hiking down. They're getting ever so close to the falls, a little over 2.5 miles in through some rhododendron. Now 2.56 miles in, Abrams Falls parking area. There's a trail that goes on that way and you can create your own loop. It's a long loop back to a certain area close to the parking lot. But warning, dangerous water currents. 4 deaths have occurred here from drowning. And the last bridge to cross, then we will be at Abrams Falls. And here we are, Abrams Falls. And the water level is up. Last time we were here, we could get close to that tree to actually get a selfie. But due to the rain, higher water, and we can't do it. It's absolutely beautiful here. Nice blue skies. Okay, when you come to this point, you'll go to the right. That way, we'll connect you to several other trails. You have to connect multiple trails to get back to the parking area. And when I glanced at the maps earlier, that looked like double-digit miles to connect those trails. So we're not prepared for that. We will make this an out and back today. Okay, and right out of the gate, when you come back up, it gets a little rocky. and steep. And there's the people walking along the trail down there where we just came from. Okay, about a quarter mile after you leave, you hear me breathing heavy after you leave the falls. Pretty steep uphill for about a quarter mile, and then it levels out. So that's one of the more moderate portions of the trail. The rest of it's pretty easy. So overall, this is light on the moderate side of hike. I would say closer to the easy end. A couple of uphills that'll get your heart going, some rocks and roots to watch out for, but nothing absolutely horrible. Really a great hike if you're in decent shape to come out and check out that beautiful waterfall. Okay, we are just under 4 miles into the total hike and on our way back to the car. Still have a ways to go, but just a decent uphill right there for another quarter mile or so. You can tell we're breathing heavy. It's leveled off a little bit, but still going uphill. We should reach about the halfway point up here soon, and then it'll start to go downhill most of the way back to the car. Well over 4.5 miles in, as you can hear the water rushing to the side of us. Pretty good hike so far. It's heated up a little bit. A lot of foot traffic now coming back to the falls as we're on our way out. When you get closer to around noon time on some of these trails, they start to get a little busier. So if you're out here and want to do this trail, the earlier the better. You have far fewer people on the trail. So far it's been really nice. And 4.75 miles into the total hike, coming downhill now, and we get some beautiful views of the creek.
Named for a Cherokee chief whose village once stood several miles downstream, your Abrams Fall adventure will begin at the back of the scenic Cades Cove Loop located in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. The roughly 5-mile long out and back trail is considered a moderately difficult hike. Most of the trail consists of very forgiving terrain, but some portions can pose some tricky footing, especially in wet conditions. This is a very popular trail for those exploring Cades Cove, and although the falls are relatively short at around 20 feet in height, the volume of water is the highest of all of the falls in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and is really quite impressive to behold, especially when all of the surrounding foliage is in full bloom. The hike explores a lush forest along the way, and the gentle roar of the nearby Abrams Creek can be a soothing sound as you stroll to and from the falls. So the next time you're visiting Cades Cove in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, take on the Abrams Falls Trail for a nice little walk in the woods.
Everybody, thanks for watching, and if you don't mind, give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out here on the channel. And remember, you can follow us at Facebook and on Instagram at Bushes on the Trail. And don't forget to subscribe, that way you don't miss any of our other walks in the woods. Thanks for watching.